The Bobby Bones Show. Oh yeah, I'm Nick Show. Hey Bobby Bones, I'm making this video for you, so please watch the video. Please watch this, because this is for you. My wife just called me. She said, Nick, Bobby Bones took the DNA test. I think he took it through 23andMe. And he was saying how he was able to find out that he won't go bald. And she says, that's what you do on your channel, is you help men determine whether or not they're gonna lose their hair. And I said, yeah, I already knew that about Bobby Bones. I've looked him up, I've looked at his age up, I've looked his picture up, I've looked at his hair. I already knew that. I could have told him that a long time ago if he asked me. See, I know how to determine whether someone's gonna lose their hair or not. I'm a YouTuber whose whole job, and this is how I make a living, by helping people determine whether they're gonna lose their hair or not. Now, I'm not trying to stop hair loss, I'm just trying to help people determine, because as a younger man, like 19, 20 years old, you start to notice your hairline go up a little bit and you freak out and you think, oh no, am I going bald? Well, I cater to those guys and I help them determine that. So, Bobby Bones, here's how I knew that you wouldn't be going bald. First of all, your age. It's like this. If you can hit the age of 35 and still have most of your hair and not have an obvious receding hairline, chances are you're going to keep most of your hair the rest of your life. Age 35 is kind of that last moment to either keep your hair or not. Age 35. If you can keep most of your hair until you're age 35, you're good. And then actually the status is Norwood 2, meaning if your hairline, you know, this would be closer to Norwood 1 with your thinning temples back here, but Norwood 2 is when it gets like this, when it's like a V shape. And as long as you at least are that good by age 35, chances are you're going to keep most of your hair for most of your life. It's when you start having the M shape and it starts getting round by 35, that's when you're more likely to lose most of your hair by the rest of your life. And I mean, you may be 47, but you have so much thinning and you're technically bald to some degree because that's your hairstyle now, right? So I already knew that based on your age and looking at your hair, Bobby. The other thing, ways that I help people determine whether they're going to lose their hair without having to take a DNA test, which by the way, I have another channel called Family Friendly Daddy Blog, and that's all it's about, is about understanding ethnicity and these DNA tests. I took mine personally through my heritage and I loved it. DNA tests are awesome, take them. But you already know that, Bobby, you already did that. Other ways, and I invented this, Bobby, I invented this. Hey, did you know this? I live in Spring Hill, just down the road from you. I'm not that far from you. All right, anyway, here we go. Other ways to know if you're going to lose your hair if you're a guy. Don't look at your grandfather. It's not about your mother's father. It's not about that, Bobby. What it's about your DNA. And I've created this theory, and I'm the first person to talk about it in the whole world. Here it is, and I talk about it all the time. Either you have genes to keep most of your hair for most of your life, or you're a kind of guy who's going to go bald, and you're going to be a hairy guy. Now, I didn't tell you before, but I'm one of the guys that I'm actually going to lose most of my hair through the rest of my life. Because see, look, my hairline's already done that. And Bobby, yours doesn't. Yours looks great. Yours is intact. I'm 36. And this is how, it was already this way by like 33, 34. So I barely missed the ride, but I missed the ride. My DNA is that I am going to be bearded and balded. And I accept that. That's my identity. I'm confident in that, and I embrace that. It's a good look. That's many men. But Bobby, that's not you. My guess is, and this is another part of my theory, I've theorized that men who can grow a full beard by the time they graduate high school are going to be like me. They're actually going to lose most of their hair on the second half of 35. My guess, Bobby, you've never said this that I'm aware of. My guess, Bobby, is that you couldn't grow a full beard that connected and looked good until you were out of high school. As for me, in the senior play, I played a wolf because I could grow a full beard at age 17 and actually by 16. So my guess is, Bobby, that you couldn't grow a full beard until after you got out of high school. And one final thing, and I've also invented this theory as well. You look at a photo of yourself at 1 year old, not a year and a half, not 6 months, but a year old. Call your mom up, say, hey, I need to see a picture of myself. Look at your hairline. That's a projection of you at what age? 35. Remember, I invented all of this. None of this existed until I started talking about it on YouTube. I invented this, Nick Show. So check this out. You look at the photo of yourself at age 1. As a male, I'm not talking about for females, but for men. You look at your photo, age 1. Look at your hairline. That's you at age 35. I've done videos on my channel, on this channel, about that. I've showed my photo of myself at 1 year old. Exact same hairline and thinning that I've got now. And you can see it better in those. That's projection of you at 35. Now, how did I figure that out? I'll tell you how. I figured it out because My mom doubled my height when I was 2 years old. So I'm 5'9". I was half that at age 2. She did that for my sister. It was true. I have a son. He's 7 years old. I measured his. He's going to be 5'8". So you can look at certain things in your youth, and you can use that as a projection for how they're going to look later. I invented that, Bobby. I did. I invented that. So I knew that you weren't going to go bald because of your age and how your hairline already looked. You don't look like a particularly hairy guy. If you were to invite me down to the station, we could do like a contest and we can compare arm hair alone. Typically, those of us men who grow more body hair at a younger age typically are hairier guys for the rest of our life anyway. Because again, it's in our DNA. You can't fight your DNA. Either the good Lord made you to be balding and bearded, or he made you to have perfect head of hair, don't really have to worry about hair loss, but maybe in gym class in high school, there's no hair growing under your arms or in your chest and some other guys make fun of you. Well, they're the guys that are going to be like me because it's in their DNA. And people are trying to fight this. Oh, I got to get a hair transplant. I need to take some kind of drug to stop it. And if that's what they want to do, fine. But it's part of our identity. It's either way in the DNA. And I already knew this about you, Bobby, that you don't have to worry about losing your hair. I already knew this about you. My wife told me this, and I just wanted to make this video for you. My wife is a huge fan of your show, and if you ever need me to come down to your show, I'm in Spring Hill, Tennessee. I'm just down the road, and I do this for a living. I make YouTube videos and I'm a blogger, so I'm pretty easy accessible. I know I'm inviting myself, but it's just that if you need to know more, I'm here for you, Bobby Bones.